this is in regards to like week 1, I guess. At first I was like, oh no, this is not going to be good. But then I was like, hey, wow, are we actually like, are we doing this? Howdy, Meowers! I'm Karmin, Karmin, and I'm here with the other host,
Devin.
Hi, Devin.
Devin. Devin. Hi. I'm not gonna judge the fact that your name ends in IN, and I didn't expect that because you know what? My name ends in IN, and sometimes people don't expect that.
Okay.
Howdy, and I'd just like to tip my hat in acknowledgement of the fact that we say howdy at the start of every episode, yet we also are upset every time a Western concept comes up in K-pop. I understand it's ironic, and I just wanted to have it on record that I'm acknowledging that.
Okay. Well, we have some fun things to cover today, don't we?
Oh, that we do. Fun, if by fun you mean really scary to talk about, because if you say one wrong thing, you're gonna never live to see the end of it.
I was actually thinking it was gonna be fun.
Oh, yeah. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Because today we're talking about ZB1, yay, ZEROBASEONE, the group that was formed off of Boys Planet, which Almond and Devin did some episodes on that, so you can be sure to check those videos out if you want. You don't have to listen to those if you don't want to. You can just stay for this one.
If you're a really big ZB1 fan, you might not want to listen to those ones.
Okay, well, we today ZB1 pre-debut, as well as the Camp ZEROBASEONE first episode reaction. Okay, that's what we're gonna be doing for you, and we are going to also just give some like predictions as to what we think the concept might be that they debut with. Not necessarily like, it doesn't have to be a prediction. It could just be what we want.
Okay.
Well, you might be thinking, how can you cover a group that hasn't debuted yet? Well, they have released a small quantity of content so far, which is actually more than I expected. So like kind of not small quantity for what I was thinking they would be releasing pre-debut. But anyway, we watched the entirety of Boys Planet, and so we kind of are familiar with these personalities, and so we're going to be sticking around for ZEROBASEONE and seeing what kind of music they make, what kind of content they make.
Yes.
So yeah.
And I don't like to have to keep feeling like I need to give a disclaimer, but I just feel like I need to anyway.
That's probably a good idea.
So I'm just going to give a little bit of a disclaimer that I am speaking as a person that is like not yet a fan. Like, if I don't want people to think I am within the fandom and I'm giving these opinions and talking about things this way. I am just someone that has seen Boys Planet and is seeing the ZB1 content, and like, you know, there's things I might enjoy, and then there's things that might not be my taste, but like, we're not going to talk about those sorts of things. Like, I'm going to keep it positive. I'm not saying I hate them or anything. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is that like, it's not a fan talking when I personally am like giving my opinions. It's just like a regular like citizen.
Okay. I'll say that I wouldn't consider myself a J-Rose yet. Z-Rose? I don't like
a Z-Rose?
Z-Rose. I wouldn't consider myself that yet because I just don't feel right calling myself that when I haven't even seen like their debut.
It's too soon.
It's too soon for me. But I was, voting for a lot of the people at some point that did end up debuting, even though maybe they weren't my one pick until the end. I still, like, I don't have a problem with these people, so I'm curious to see their content.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the place that I'm coming from, looking at it positively. So let's just get right into the content that they released so far. And we'll start with the 2 dance practices, Here I Am and Say My Name. Do you have anything to say about those?
Well, unfortunately, see, sometimes I'm really good and I watch everything and take notes on it and like right before and my mind is all fresh. Unfortunately, I've watched some of the content recently and then some of it not recently because there was too much, So the dance practice I haven't watched recently enough. All I remember is the part in one of them where they go around in the circle. The choreography is like the camera is going around in the circle.
Mm-hmm.
That part was a little bit interesting to see the distribution of time for the people.
Yeah, it was. Well, I want to talk about how I think that, like, I don't really have much to say, but I do want to point out that I'm glad that they covered, or like, not really covered, I'm glad that they like turned Say My Name into a ZB1 song. I'm still hoping they do that with Jelly Pop, but we have yet to see it. I know everybody wants to though, but
I wonder if they have to like get permission from the people, and what if the people sometimes are like, no?
I don't know.
But that would be dumb because why would they say no? Wouldn't they want their song to be used?
Yeah.
They totally should with Jelly Pop. Like, I don't understand why they wouldn't.
Yeah. I like what they did to the choreography too, like with Say My Name, because there were so many more people in the ZB1 version. And I would also like to direct everyone's attention to Taere's part at about 2 minutes in. I think that's a very enjoyable moment. So that's really all I have to say about the dance practices, though.
I'd say overall, like what I've seen as like an overarching effect so far from what I've seen of the ZB1 content is Taere just being like a positive like little boost in any piece of content that I've seen so far. Like I know that Sock Matthew really has that vibe, and like he definitely had that vibe through Boys Planet a lot. Like I feel like that was his thing. Taere was, I guess, probably acknowledged in that way a little bit as well, but I feel like I'm seeing it more now than I was on Boys Planet from Taere.
Yeah, I agree. I would also like to take this time to say that I said before, or rather Almond said at some point in time when we gave our like possible biases, I don't remember if I gave more than one. Like I know I said Zhonghao maybe would be a bias, and obviously I still can't really pick one because they didn't debut yet, but definitely,
girl, it'll be 2 years from now and you still won't have picked one.
You're right. But like I when I said it was Zhonghao before, I was also thinking maybe Taere would be like at the top, and I'm still sticking to that, just to let everybody know. But also I have since Boys Planet, like I wasn't super like Team Ganuk or anything on Boys Planet, unfortunately, even though you were really pushing for him. But now I'm totally like, I'm seeing the light with that. Like, justice for Ganuk, honestly, because he is not being featured enough in the ZB1 content so far. Like, where are all his parts in the songs? Where is his screen time in the trailer? Like, come on, Wake One.
I feel like, yeah, he's really, really, like it's, to me, from what I've seen, like the amount of content that I've seen, I feel like he really has been like shown less. And yeah, from episode one, I was saying, you know, that boy from Jellyfish, he was like, everyone was kind of intimidated by those boys. But when him and, well, like his group and what's the other boy's name? The little
Hwani?
boy.
Oh.
The little boy.
Takuto?
Takuto.
Yeah.
When him and Takuto, like, when they were, like, crossing paths, he was nice to Takuto, and I was like, he was nice. Like, you know, people were intimidated by them and thought, ooh, they're scary. But I'm like, but do you see how he was nice? And from that point on, I was like, he's nice. And then no one was picking him for the groups, and it was like all this, you know, and now he's in it, and now everyone's like, oh, you know, maybe he's kind of nice. And I'm like, he's been nice this whole time.
Yeah.
So my possible biases, yeah, I mean, I feel like it probably will just end up being Ganuk. But, like, my top people would be Ganuk and Jonghao, I think, definitely.
Yeah, I'd say, like, because you like Park Woojin and Wanna One, and like, obviously he's in AB6 now, and he's like, if you had an AB6 bias, it would be him, right?
Yeah.
And they're kind of similar. I think they, like, seem maybe intimidating at first, but their personalities are so, they don't, like, seem like that at all in content. But we should talk about, like, the differences of personalities that we've noticed so far from Boys Planet to the actual ZeroBaseOne content, because I've noticed a lot of differences. Obviously, there was a bunch of, like, Mnet editing and whatnot. Maybe they were behaving differently because it was a show. Who knows about Boys Planet, okay? Let's just kind of forget about that and take into consideration what we've got now. So I think that Ganu is, like, still, he had that kind of fun personality, like, on Boys Planet, but it was still a little air of intimidation to, like, the other contestants. But now it seems like he's just, you know, making the environment a good time.
Yeah, like, I feel like it was only towards those last, maybe even just the last episode or the last 2 episodes, that we were actually, like, seeing content of Ganuk being really, like helping all of the other people around him interact and be comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like he really does do that. Like, we can see that a lot now. I think too, just in general, like, a lot of the overall group synergy, well, not necessarily group synergy, basically, I'm like, the group attitudes or, like, dispositions as a whole, like, each person individually, but I'm saying across the board, they all seem just a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
Because they're probably not stressed and worried and, like, practicing constantly and, you know, not sleeping because they're worried or because they're practicing and all that. Like, you can see in the content everything is just a little calmer in terms of, like, their attitudes. I feel like you can feel the stress is gone.
That's one of the reasons why I was, like, wanting you to watch it, because I feel like even though, like, on the show, some of the, like, we maybe were thinking how, like, this seems like kind of a weird combination or something, like, anything we might have thought, it seems like they're working so far as a group. Like, they're working well together. And yeah, the environment seems a lot more relaxed, especially with Yujin. We got that glimpse of it in the, like, what was it, a reaction to the, like, final episode, but they had some bonus content or something. We saw a little glimpse of that there, but now in the actual ZeroBaseOne content, he seems so much more like, just like a kid, I guess. Like, we couldn't really see him having fun.
Yeah, he seemed
on Boys Planet. He
seemed much more introverted or shy, or, you know, like, he seemed much more closed off in Boys Planet than he does now. And obviously it can also just be like he's gotten to know this specific set of people more over time, because before, like, every time that people got eliminated, they had to change rooms and stuff too. So maybe he was getting, you know, shuffled around to a couple different people, and, like, he's in a different group every week. So maybe now that he's actually has a constant that's helping to, like, him to be more comfortable with those people. But I mean, also, I guess he's known them for quite a few months now, right?
Yeah. The show apparently like went on for a lot longer than I even like thought it did.
Yeah,
like
I
it's
felt
been
like
so
it
long by now.
I felt like it went on for a long time, but at the same time I was like, but it didn't though, right? But it actually did.
Yeah. Also, Jung seems like he was kind of, throwing jokes on Boys Planet a lot, but I feel like even more so in the ZB1 stuff, he just seems to be smiling most of the time, which is, good for him. He seems like he is satisfied with the group, like, so that's good. And Gyubin, I wanted to say that he definitely seems like he's going to be like a fake Magne type of vibe. Like he's always playing jokes and stuff like that. So there was that little point too.
Yeah, he seems very puppy-like. Like when there's a person that is sort of like follows along with other people happily. That seemed like his vibe in some of the things that I was watching, where it was like he was sort of stuck to another person and was like, oh, I'll follow along with your joke, like I'll do it too, like, so people that like that sort of personality I think are going to be really happy that someone like that is in the group, because it seems like already that seems to be a strong like concept for him. I'm not saying it's a concept, I think it's his natural way of being, but I'm just saying, when people categorize people for groups, I guess that's what he would fall under.
Yeah. I would like to see more from Ricky. I think that we haven't, like, he's been consistent, I guess. We haven't really seen much of a personality change from him, which maybe that's like a good thing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he will be a little bit more open and relaxed once they actually debut, or maybe that's just how he likes to act. I don't know, but I feel like I don't have much to go off of with Ricky.
I feel like when I see Ricky interacting with the group, I think of him as being kind of like happy and friendly, like disposition wise towards the people, but like still very kind of like low key, I guess you would say, in terms of like how he acts.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem like he's not saying a lot because he's uncomfortable, because he's not happy to be around the people or anything. Like I always feel like he's in a good mood, but he's just like, not gonna say much. I kind of feel like I get that vibe from Ricky, which is, better than him feeling like it seeming like he's uncomfortable to be around them. I feel like he seems comfortable.
Yeah. There was the First Look magazine behind the scenes video that was released because they had a photo shoot for that. And in that video, Zhang Hao said that he'd like to see Ricky with black hair. Did you watch that video?
Yeah, I watched.
Okay. He said he wanted to see Ricky with black hair, and yeah, I really agree. Like, I'm just curious to see what it would look like, but Ricky seemed like he kind of didn't want it, but he did say he would try it at some point. But like, if he doesn't want to do it, I don't think that they should make him do it. But like, I don't know, because he seems like he has such that Ricky vibe with the blonde.
Yeah.
And I want to see if it would still be the vibe with it not blonde.
Yeah, like it kind of feels like it's his trademark. But
yeah.
I like how he said, he's like, oh, I'd be willing to try black hair in the future. And then they're like, nah, you don't want to do it. You're not going to. He's lying. And he's like, no. Like he didn't want, even if he was kind of just saying it to be like, if people want to see this, then I'll try it. Like he wouldn't really feel like he wanted to try it, but he's like, if people want to see it, I'll try it vibes. I liked how he seemed like he got really offended when they were saying like, oh, you don't really want to. He's like, I don't want to be seen as like, a bad person that would be like unwilling to give the people what they want. He was immediately like, no, like don't say that. Like I will try it.
I think that Ricky and Matthew, like, I'd like to see more of them. They were interacting a little bit in that First Look video, and also in the Camp ZEROBASEONE, like the teaser clip that we saw. And so, like, I just feel like that was something we didn't really see very much on Boys Planet. And so I just am interested to see their interactions more. And also Matthew and Tere, like you talked about their personalities being kind of similar earlier. So I'd like to see them having some more interaction, which they did a little bit in that Tere show, like KCON vlog type of video at the hotel, which that was really fun, I thought. So let's talk about that if you want to.
When I first tried to watch that singing one, I'd already had the captions turned on, and they had them on English, like some other like fourth track of captions that was English, and it was a giant. You wouldn't understand unless you also this happened to you. There was a giant wall of text showing up in like the first 2 seconds over Tere's face, and I was like, whoa. And so I rewound it and paused it, and apparently a million other people did as well, because there's a big spike in the video view thing right there. And it was like the text was cut off, so I couldn't even read all of it. Like it was so far up the top that like it was going off the screen on the top of the screen, and I'm like, I don't understand what this is. And then I was like, oh my god, did someone do captions for this video but accidentally make it all one big chunk right at the beginning? No. But thankfully, there was another track for captions that was labeled as English that was like at the top of the list. I don't know why they didn't auto have it on that one, but it was captioned properly. And so for some chance someone else fell into that situation and thought, oh, I tried to watch that one, but the captions were weird, just click on change the captions to the other English one. But yeah, so that one I thought was quite silly, and I don't know, I didn't really care about the songs very much that they were singing. But one thing I thought was interesting about it was, I mean, maybe all of the people that got in the group were already at this point on Boys Planet. But I just kind of thought for a second, what the heck, you know? How does everyone just go from being on Boys Planet, where they have to, you know, sing in front of the training people every week to practice the song, and like, you know, work and change it a little bit here, struggle with this there, and then all of a sudden, okay, now you're in a group and you can just open up any song on your phone and just start singing it.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that's kind of weird, but I guess maybe that's why those people end up getting in the group, because like the ones that struggled to learn or like freely sing, like easily without fear of, you know, possibly missing some notes, those people got eliminated, I guess. But I did have that thought, because it was just so, they were like, oh yeah, I'm going to sing this song. Oh, okay, I'm going to sing that one. And I'm like, it's nice to see that everyone is comfortable with just like, you know, popping open a song and singing it.
Yeah, I thought that was a fun video, because I feel like it's something that's not really common in like K-pop content, I guess. But like, they can all sing clearly. Like Ganuk and Gyubin, I was surprised when they were singing, like, they were, like, I feel like we didn't get that from them on Boys Planet.
Yeah.
But even the fact that they were just sitting casually in a hotel room and, like, singing that good.
It's kind of crazy, actually, now that you made me realize and remember that even the people that could, quote-unquote, sing, we probably didn't hear very much of. Like, the only people you heard sing on Boys Planet were the people that would get like main vocal or the center.
Yeah.
Everyone else, they would sing, but they had smaller parts, and they had like simpler parts. So even though they were all capable, because one person was extra capable, they're the ones that we kept hearing, like, we knew they had, you know, all the ability to sing.
Yeah.
But these other people can sing more like lead roles as well, and we just never got to hear it. So even if we heard other people sing, I feel like, we didn't even get to hear them sing that much.
Yeah, so like that was really refreshing. And the Hanbin, Zhanghao, Ricky room, is that who it was? Was there somebody else besides Tere obviously was in there? that was like a good, like, wow, their vocals were really good. Like, we got so many like instances of hearing the different, like, the possible like tones that they'll have like from that video, seeing as they all like sang like a little bit. Like, you know, it's making me be able to hear a little bit how the album might sound.
Okay.
You know, because like when they were on the show, it's like you only have them working with the people that they worked with each week. But we kind of, in one video like that, you know, I don't know. Maybe that doesn't make sense.
I get what you're saying. I also liked to see Ricky once again being like, you know, feeling like he could contribute a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I feel like I could sense from Ricky the sense of being like, you know, yeah, I'll do it too. Like I'll add a little flavor with my singing right in that part, even though I feel like all the other three, Jonghao, Taeray, and Hanbin, are very...
Matthew in that room too? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe he was. Did Matthew join in that room? That would be kind of weird for him to go to 2 rooms, but I kind of feel like he was there.
I don't know.
I don't
remember. But the 3 people that I just named are very, like, I'd say, confident vocalists.
Yeah.
You know, they'd be like, oh, you know, you want me to sing a note? Boom, I'll sing it. I feel like Ricky wants more preparation ahead of time when he does things. That's kind of the vibe I get. And so it was fun to see him, like, you know, adding a little, like, didn't he do like a little note here or there? Yeah. So I was like, okay, Ricky, yes, like, you know, jump on in there.
Yeah. Just as a side note, I want to say that at some point during Boys Planet, now I know I knew at the beginning that Matthew was an O2 liner because I know that, but at some point along the way, I started thinking that he was an O3 liner. So if at any point I said that, like, I understand now that, yeah, he's an O2 liner, but like, and I knew that at the beginning, but I so much thought that he was an O3 liner that when in this ZB1 content, I heard Taeray being like, oh, my friend Matthew. I'm like, wait, are they actually like the same age? Like friends? And then I'm like, oh, yeah. So I just somehow got very mixed up. So if I ever said that, I understand now.
You're telling me Taeray?
Mm-hmm.
Taeray is the same age as Matthew. Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
So they're both 21-ish? 21?
Yeah, I guess.
I thought Taeray was like 24. What? He seems so much older than everybody else.
If anything, I would for some reason think he was like younger than that.
What?
Yeah.
Taeray seems old to me. It's because he sang that Man in Love song.
Stop, that was the if-duck moment.
Yeah, probably for everybody.
Yeah.
But no, I just he has an old soul in terms of his singing vibes.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, that, speaking of Taeray again, he, if anybody knows TO1, he reminds me of JU. Maybe I said that at some point. I kind of feel like I did because I've been thinking it like the whole time pretty much. But especially in the Camp ZEROBASEONE clip where they're shopping for cups and Jonghao's like, this cup is for Taeray because look at the colors. And then they show like the 2 pictures of him and he's got the like, and they talk about primary colors or whatever. Very JU. Like,
so you think his personality is similar? I
think his personality is similar. And honestly, I think that there's some essence to their look that is similar as well.
Okay, well, I don't know JU very well, but I don't see it.
Like, I know JU is like a rapper and he does not have that singing, I'm gonna start a jam session vibe. Maybe he'd start like a rap improv session, like, but something about their personalities is similar.
I was thinking of Jaeyoon from TO1. TOO.
Oh boy.
Okay, JU. Okay, maybe I could understand their looks being somewhat similar in a way. If I could properly conjure up an image of JU in my mind, which I can't, but I'm almost there. And so, yeah, I could possibly believe it.
Okay.
If it was Jaeyoon, I could never believe it because he's a combination of New from The Boys and
Jinho from Pentagon.
Yeah, right. And
That's what
Jinho
you
from
always
Pentagon.
say.
That's what
But
I
don't know if I see it. I don't know.
You gotta look harder. Okay, so can we talk about the cup shopping moment?
Yeah.
I laughed out loud so hard at that part when Sock Matthew was looking at the cups, and well, first of all, he was like really liked a cup, and then he immediately like abandoned that cup for what I thought was a much more boring and simple looking cup. But then when I saw it a little bit in higher quality, like when they got a better shot of it and I could see that it was like speckled and stuff, you know, like there was like pattern or design on it, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And so then they were assigning the cups to all the members, and when they picked up the one cup and they were like, I don't really know, like this, who would this go for? And then someone said Gyubin, I just immediately started laughing out loud. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but if that's what the ZB1 content is going to be like, then I'm probably going to really enjoy it because that was hilarious.
I thought that video was like really funny. I thought it was like an enjoyable video. I don't know if it was that combination of people or what they were doing, but I'm like, you know, we're going to come back with our reaction to episode 1 in a moment, like we talked about at the beginning, but we have to wait until it comes out.
Yeah, while we're talking about stuff right now, it actually hasn't been released yet, but it will be. Just in 2 seconds it will be, or however long. I actually, now that you bring up, wonder if it was just the people in the video. I'm thinking I'm probably going to like ZB1 content more if it's more like unit based, if it's like big group you know, pieces of content that have like every member. I feel like I might end up liking less than if it's like everyone's grouped off into like little subgroups and they're like going about doing things. I think I might end up enjoying those pieces more where it's just a few people interacting at a time than the whole group.
I think that it's going to have similar dynamic, like if we want to start in with kind of the prediction sort of side of things, like I don't know if it's just because it's in my head because of them being like an Mnet survival show group, or if I do see the similarities between ZeroBaseOne and WANA1. Like, and obviously, you know, the whole zero base thing in WANA1 go zero base is already a thing of its own. But I'm getting the vibes, and I liked WANA1. So, you know, there's that. I don't really have anything else to say about that.
I don't think I get that at this point, but I don't know why I don't.
I think that I'm also getting, like, if we want to talk about how we think the concept will be, so far we've only seen the like 30-second teaser clip thing for Youth in the Shade with just Zhang Hao and Hanbin, which was a really interesting video, except nothing really happened, but there was like a candle and it was like, ooh, like vibey mysteriousness. But then we just recently got the Youth in the Shade like 3-minute-ish trailer video, and that is giving the whole, like, I've been talking a lot about it in episodes recently where people are doing the whole, like I talked about it with N-Hyphen and Le Seraphim, and I always reference it back to the NCT 127 interlude with the whole English and like mixing languages thing to create like sort of, like, for some reason when they do that, it makes it more emotional, like, or like you know, it's just such an aesthetic to do something like that. So they went that direction. And honestly, the fact that Wake One was able to produce something of that caliber was a shock on its own. But like, so we got that video, and that is giving not just 101, like I get energetic vibes from it, but I also get very, very.
Oh,
so like, and
okay.
that whole, the flame thing with Hanbin and Zhanghao, and this video that was longer, it reminds me of like very, very concept and aesthetic, and like just the way that the design looks, I guess, is very reminiscent of very, very.
Okay, I don't know much about very, very either, but I feel like I can see where you're coming from there. I just feel like I maybe still need some warming up to do to the group as a whole when it's coming to their more produced content pieces. I'm still not there with them in those moments. It's sometimes I have a problem believing like that something is not like acting. Like sometimes I'll watch a K-drama and they'll do a scene that's from like a historical time, and I always think that it seems like a soap opera all of a sudden. Like I don't go there with them in the moment. I'm not in that time with them. Like I don't feel like I've been transported to that time. I feel like, okay, now you guys are on a set and you're acting. That's kind of the vibe I got from this. Like I understand how high quality of like production value it had, but like I don't think I know the people enough yet to be able to tell like when they're acting versus when they're being genuine, and therefore knowing when I feel like, wow, it didn't even seem like they were acting, you know, it seemed like they were really in that moment to me, because I feel like from Boys Planet you get so many vibes of like show your charm and like, you know, do the right facial expressions for the camera, that I think my brain is still feeling like they're trying to serve me up things like that sometimes. That's what I think's going on. I'm still hesitant to like, you know, forget the fact that for however many months they were trying to like sell me their personality and their charm. Like I need to relax into it now so that I can just see them like, oh, okay, yeah, I think maybe in, you know, a while from now, if I were to rewatch it, I would be like, I don't know why I thought that before. Now it seems like normal to me. But yeah, so I just wasn't exactly in the moment. I did really like the visuals, but like I wasn't transported there with them. Okay, well, just like in general, at first, with like, this is in regards to like Wake One, I guess, the way they're being handled so far. At first I was like, oh no, this is not going to be good. But then once I started to see the stuff, I was like, hey, wow, are we actually like, are we doing this? Are we getting somewhere? But then it's like I see the lack of content from like lack of screen time, lack of representation for some people, some situations, and I'm like, oh no, here we go again. And so I hope that I can be surprised in a positive way rather than a negative way. Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's just hope that, we're trying to keep faith in Wake One. Let's hope that they don't disappoint us.
Right.
But if they do, we're going to say disappointed but not surprised. Now we will magically be back having the knowledge of ZB1 Camp, whatever it's
Camp
called.
ZEROBASEONE.
Camp ZEROBASEONE.
Episode 1.
Okay, so yeah, I told you guys it'd only take a second. We're back, and we have now watched the show.
I liked it.
Yeah, me too. Like, it was a lot longer than I expected it would be, but
yeah, I expected it to be like 20 to 40 minutes maybe.
Yeah, me too. And I didn't like, you know, none of it seemed like, oh, like, can it be over now? Like, or oh, is it almost done? Like, I was just genuinely entertaining throughout that whole hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I felt like it was very like classic, like when we were first seeing variety shows like that from K-pop groups. Like, it didn't seem like this whole like, oh, we're trying to do a bunch of crazy weird things. Like it just seemed like, normal content like that I would expect.
Yeah, it did seem very classic. It didn't have some sort of like, it didn't seem like it had an agenda.
Yeah.
Like there's an agenda in everyone. Spoilers. Okay,
yeah,
we're talking about episode 1
of Camp ZEROBASEONE, by the way, in case you weren't aware.
It had an agenda of, like the staff obviously are making them like do some things, like, oh, you're gonna have to earn money this way, and like, oh, you're gonna have to go and do this thing. But like it didn't seem like a marketing agenda.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite part?
Oh, my favorite part. I don't know. I liked when they were singing in Terry's camping car, and like that whole car was having so much fun, and the other car was sleeping. That was funny.
I liked the part when they were folding the boxes.
That seemed like a part that you would like. We noticed through that episode that Ganuk seems to be very much like you.
Yeah. Besides the like sociability, his sociableness that he has is not like me. But yeah, like when he was working in the escape room on the like logic puzzle thing, and then when he was folding the boxes, very much like me. When he said at the end, "Let's work with honor" or whatever he said,
yeah, and not have debt. He didn't want them to overspend.
Oh my god, yeah. He must be like the extroverted like type of. Maybe he's an ENTJ. I don't know. Maybe he's slightly different, but he
be able to find out. It's on his profile, but
oh yeah, I don't think anyone was what I am exactly, but maybe there was someone that had most of the letters the same.
I also liked the whole village part. That was funny. Different concept than something I've seen, but all the people in the pink shirts, like that was very weird, but funny.
I've seen oftentimes content of people having to like go to a village and like interact with the people at the village. But for some reason this was one of the times that I thought the most like, are these people really the people in this village? And they're just acting like this? Because I don't know, it just seemed like it seems like it must be so random for them to just be like approached by a TV show, or a network or whatever, to be like, hey, can we like have everyone in your village come and sit outdoors for like an hour with these pink shirts on, and
a bunch of these people are gonna come up to you and hold a picture. We need a picture of when you were younger, by the way.
Yeah, it just seems kind of crazy. Like I remember there's a Monster X-Ray episode where they go to a village like that, but it's more of like, it seems a little bit more of like an event. Like there's like a stage that's set up for one part, like so like later on they'll do a little performance, even though they do also interact with the people. This seemed more of like they were giving these people roles that they had to act out, and I'm like, I didn't know that there were so many actors in this village.
When you just brought your hand to your mouth, you looked like Zhang Hao. I was gonna say, I got Monster X like vibes from that part, but I don't, and so like I was gonna say, did Monster X do something similar to that? But then you talked about a stage, and I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah,
episode.
I don't think you've seen the one that I'm talking about. It's the one where they're dressed like aunties.
Oh yeah, no, I never saw that one.
So yeah, you never saw that one, but maybe you somehow just got the vibes anyway.
Yeah. I enjoyed Ricky's comments throughout the episode.
Me too, and his shocking fashion change.
Yeah.
That was a delight.
Yeah. So I think, before we saw the episode, we were already noticing some differences from the people on Boys Planet to the people in the other behind content that we've had a chance to see. And now I think even more, like we're getting even more personality. Some of the people still, like, I'm not getting a whole lot from them, but like there's like a Matthew, for example. I didn't expect him to be doing so much like eggyo, like he was talking with like a tone a lot, and he seemed even, obviously he had that sort of persona that they were like highlighting a lot on Boys Planet, but it seemed like he was just naturally like that a lot more in this. And Ricky with all the like funny comments and stuff, and Eugen definitely seems like he's just a normal kid, like on a variety show.
Yeah, hanging out with his friends.
Yeah.
I learned a little bit like about some people's work ethic in this episode, and whether it was quality or whether they would rather, fool around or like do troublemaking, take the easy way out. I'm not gonna name any names. But yeah, well, it seems like there are some people that are more focused on the tasks that they were given, and some people that were more focused on like the fact that it's a content piece that is happening. Some people are like, let's make a moment for the cameras.
Yeah. Also, Zhang Hao seemed to be like more, like I was getting even more from him from the show. Like he definitely seems like he's more easily scared than I didn't get that impression from him on Boys Planet.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But like everything he was reacting to like an extra lot compared to everybody else. Overall, though, I like the concept. Like, I said it felt classic, and it's refreshing whenever people go to like the village like they went to, or the mountains or the sea, wherever. Like I like that kind of content. And the part at the rest area when Matthew said it felt like he was on Running Man, I enjoy that, like those Running Man episodes. So to have a little piece of that in this show, that was nice.
Yeah. So even though it was a pretty long episode, longer than we thought, it's really like kind of all I'd have to say right now is just like, yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah. So we'll have the next episode to look forward to, their horror experience. We got a little preview of that with Zhang Hao and Eugen team. And so that'll be interesting to watch. It's always funny when they pair up like the two really scared people, but I feel like they haven't done that in a lot of the horror experiences I've seen recently. It's usually like somebody who's really not scared at all with somebody who's really scared.
Yeah. I also like, this is not really related, but I also like how so far it seems like the staff that are, like running the how the sort of experience works, while they're doing the same sort of staff-like things that people like this usually do, where it's like, oh, I bet you didn't expect this. It doesn't seem like it's one of those extreme versions where the staff are like literally like, just like lying so terribly with everything and making it like ridiculous. Like, oh yeah, well, we told you we would give you this money, and we told you if you did this job you would get it, but you actually didn't even realize that you have to do 20 other things.
Like rigging everything, like that Just Be episode of their show.
Or that one of Monster X, right, where they had to earn money and the staff would count out the money to give to them, but they would count it wrong with sleight of hand. At least it doesn't seem like it's like that, because when it's like that and when it seems like the staff is like evil in their like game, that bothers me.
Yeah.
So looking forward to episode 2.
You can go ahead and leave a comment and share some funny moments that you enjoyed from the first episode of Camp ZeroBaseOne. If, by the way, you are unaware of a platform to watch it, I was super confused. I thought it was going to be on Mnet, like most of the other shows that Mnet releases. They're just like on the Mnet YouTube channel, but it's actually available for free on Viki. If you have that, like, you can go ahead and watch it there.
There are a lot of ad breaks if it's free, but you can watch it.
You can also watch it other places, but like that's a legitimate place that you don't have to pay for, so. So anyway, that's all for today. We talked about ZeroBaseOne, and we will keep talking about ZeroBaseOne because, again, they didn't debut yet, so we're still looking forward to that as well. If you enjoyed this video, you can be sure to hit the like button and also subscribe to BlushCat on YouTube and turn on the notifications.
And you can follow us on Spotify. We have a link in the description.
Yep. You can look forward to the June Meower Monthly coming soon as well. And just be sure to check our description. Be sure to follow all of our social media platforms, which you can find the links to or, handles, whatever, in the description. Thank you.
And thanks so much for watching/listening.
This has been Karmin.
And me. Bye.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.